I wanted to share a little bit of an update. I've been working on two big things. One is a book I've been working on. I finally submitted the manuscript. Alhamdulillah, stay tuned. I will update you on that. And the second thing we've been working on is we've created a membership, a career strategy membership for women in medicine. Now, this is what I've been teaching for the past 6 years. It's been in big intensives and group coaching programs. But one of the things we're trying to do at Defiance Academy is to make our programs and our curriculum more accessible to a lot more people. And so how do we create a community where the experiences that we're facing are very much similar, but there's no real strategy that actually teaches us this and that allows us to get into a community where some of the challenges we're facing are challenging workplaces, hostile workplaces, discrimination, bias, deciding family planning around career. How do we do that? Where do we ever have these discussions? Nobody ever talks about that. We actually have members already, and we've already had our first few meetings and some workshops. And one of the things that our new members said that really stuck with me and resonated with me was the fact that a lot of the spaces that are available are very politically correct, right? We don't talk about things that are uncomfortable. We dance around the issue. We talk about implicit bias, and we talk about things that are very sterile, not to upset people and not to be blunt, and talk about reality of navigating the workplace as a woman of color. And so that was one of the things she asked is, how do we talk about these things? And I said, we're not politically correct. There's nothing politically correct about any of the things that we talk about. As a matter of fact, the career strategy that I've created and I've been teaching, and my platform is called Defiance Academy. It's called the Defiant Career Strategy, and it is specifically designed to address that. It's specifically designed to address the culture of silence, to address the fact that we don't talk about the things that we need to talk about. We use sterile language like implicit bias and imposter syndrome, right? You're navigating a workplace that is very, very toxic and that doesn't allow you to advance and punishes you for having children, punishes you for taking time off to take care of family. We need to call that out, and we need to be able to understand that that's a system problem, not a personal problem. It's not an imposter issue. It's not a confidence issue. It's a workplace that really isn't designed for us. And so, no, we are not politically correct. We don't water down things. We talk about the reality of navigating the workplace as a woman of color, and we strategize for it. And so the community is open. I have made a free trial available for anybody who wants to check it out and see what it's about. You can see some of the first lessons that are available, what the community is like, what exactly is involved in joining a space created for women in medicine that teaches career strategy. The curriculum I'm teaching, I've been teaching it for about 6 years now. It is paradigm shifting. Some of it is counterintuitive. You have to unlearn the things that you've been taught, and you have to learn new things. So it takes time for that learning to happen, for that thinking and that mindset to develop. And so I go into detail about how that works, what exactly is involved in joining a program like this. And I spaced it out to where it's not overwhelming. The one thing that we're trying to overcome is the fact that we are so burned out and overwhelmed with all the things that we're doing that it's really difficult to do something that is productive, that will lighten your load. So this program, the way it's designed, it's not to add more to your plate. It's actually designed to allow you to make space and time for you to figure out, why are you so overwhelmed? What is cluttering your plate? And how do you, with a clear mind, look at everything you're responsible for and start to lighten your own load? Okay. I've taught multiple workshops. I've taught multiple courses. I've given multiple lectures. What I'm hoping to do with this membership is bring all that training, bring all that education into one space. From now on, every workshop that I do, instead of it being its own little thing, it's going to be in a vault where we will divide it out into different topics. We talk about burnout. We talk about time management. We talk about navigating a hostile workplace, toxic bosses, conflict resolution. As you advance, or if you come in at a higher level, we talk about negotiation. There's a lot more to negotiate than just salary, right? There's a lot more on the table to negotiate. Your schedule is up for negotiation. Your lifestyle is up for negotiation. How you will be treated in the workplace is up for negotiation. And then as we advance in our careers, what do? Are we ready for advancement? Do we have the networks? Do we have the sponsors? One of the things that has stood out to me throughout my career is how blind we are, how blind I was coming into this field, not having any networks, not having anybody to show me the ropes, and just blindly navigating my way through medicine and figuring things out on my own. Do you know how much better it would have been if I had some sort of a map to help guide me and say, where am I going? What am I doing? What things do I need to line up in order for me to get to this goal? We're blindly stumbling through it. So one of the things that we're doing is the way the membership is designed, it's multiple tiers. You come in, you start at the basics, and you unlearn all the career myths. You learn new skills and new strategies, and you build what I call a defiant foundation, a defiant mindset. Once you learn that, we get to career advancement, negotiations, and then how do you line yourself up for leadership and legacy and connections, right? Just because it doesn't exist for you doesn't mean you need to continue navigating blindly. We will actually help you create a career map, your own career map based on not just your career goals, but your life goals. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to end up? How are you going to get there? We work on all of that. We deal with the myths. We deal with the hostile workplaces. We deal with the burnout. We get a plan. And then we set on our destination of what do we want to achieve in our career, in our life, and how do we get there? And then you have a plan. And then there's a mastermind if you want to be a leader in your field, or if you want to build your brand outside of medicine, whatever it is. We have all the tiers, right? Wherever you are, we have the entire career strategy mapped out. Everything I've been teaching for like 6 years is now in one place. And that's one of the things that I'm really, really excited about, because having a small group that's at the beginning stages, and we have another group that is mid-career, and we're doing group coaching for that. And then we have a handful of people who are doing one-on-one coaching for leadership. It becomes a lot to handle. And so we've consolidated it. We are now on School. It's a community platform. Everything on Defiance Academy, everything that I've ever taught, that I will be teaching, is now going to be in School. I have made a free trial available. You can try it for 7 days, see what the community is all about. I designed it to where it is not overwhelming. That is the last thing I want and you need, is an overwhelm of all the things. I've had people actually come into my academy, buy courses, buy workshops, and it just sits there and it breaks my heart. I don't want to do that. I don't want to charge you for something you're not going to use. So when I was designing this membership, I took some time with it because I wanted to design it to where it's useful, right? There's no point in creating all this content and creating all this stuff if you're going to buy it, you're going to pay for it, but it's not going to be any use to you. I remember there are things that I've registered for myself, and when it's too much, it's overwhelming and it becomes yet another thing on your plate. So knowing that, I took my time in designing it because we don't want any overwhelm. And so the way it's designed, it's step by step by step. Okay. I know there are a lot of people that are like, just, they love collecting things. They love collecting books and, collecting courses and whatnot. No. I designed it specifically so that you only get a little bit. You learn, you apply, you implement, you come back, you assess and say, okay, what did I learn? Did it work? Why isn't it working? And then you learn the next thing. You go and implement, and so forth. Okay. So my whole goal for this is to avoid overwhelm. Let me know if you guys have any questions or concerns.